If you could bring back one discontinued item, what would it be? McCormick used to sell a pizza seasoning in their grinder bottles that was delicious and could make any pizza better. I went so far as contacting them about it. And they told me they don't even sell a comparable herb mix anymore. Actual decent water guns. Mainly super soakers. The ones produced in the mid-90s to early 2000s were so much fun and actually packed a decent punch. They reached their pinnacle with the CPS constant pressure system line. For a while during my childhood, teen years. Every year's lineup felt like an improvement from the last. I remember eagerly browsing through the latest Super Soaker catalog to see what kind of hulking monstrosity I might be able to get my hands on in time for the summer break that year. Unfortunately, they don't make them anymore. At least not like they did back then. Ever since the brand was bought out by Hasbro. And probably also in response to complaints from parents that their kids were injuring each other with them. The water guns produced and sold after 2002 are a shadow of what they used to be. It slightly saddens me that the kids of today will likely never get to experience anything like the epic water wars I used to spend my summers engaging in. Jell-O gelatin and pudding pops. They were basically soft ice cream bars and they were amazing. Never had anything else like them in my life. 3D Doritos. Or Oreo Cakesters. Something I haven't seen in years. Superman ice cream. Giant Sweet Tarts. They came in a pack of 3. The chewy ones aren't nearly as good. If I could bring back 2. Mr. Bones candy skeleton with coffin. They sell for $75 on eBay these days. Candy was just okay. But those coffins were a lot of fun. Does anyone remember Yogos? They probably taste like, but I adored those as a kid. No idea if anyone said it, but Philadelphia cream cheese used to have these snack bites that came in strawberry cheesecake and turtle, and they were so good. I'd seriously consider giving a kidney to have them back in the market. Mr. Pibb. Pibb Extra is not the same thing. I might be the only person in the world that would want to see it back. But the Arch Deluxe from McDonald's. The best pretzels of all time. Rolled gold honey mustard tiny twists. I can't believe they got rid of the honey mustard ones and kept the far inferior cheddar cheese variety. The vaccine for Lyme disease. Anti-vaxxers sabotaged the testing. It worked. Taco Bell's grilled XXL grilled stuffed burrito. It was the perfect meal. You just needed one. A little bigger than a regular burrito, but not some fast food fest like their boxes. I sure do miss it. Viennetta ice cream dessert. The commercials had me convinced that was the classiest dessert in the supermarket freezer. Edit. Well shoot. When it's safe to travel again, I guess I just need to leave the US to find it. Sour tangerine Altoids. Goddamn, those were good. The lemon Girl Scout cookies. They were so much better than they were now. Bonkers fruit candy. They bonk you out. McDonald's hot mustard sauce. Edit. Apparently not gone. But only available at select locations. Sounds like the Midwest and Canada held strong. As a Michigan transplant to the South, I guess I have to accept the hot mustard sauce for warm weather trade. Wonka bars. They were my favorite candy bar. But I don't think they ever sold well. I miss them so much I actually tried making my own. Shape-ups. The rocker bottom shoes completely cured my chronic plantar fasciitis. Chocolate lasagna at Olive Garden. My favorite dessert ever. Best part for me is my wife found a recipe online and makes it every year for my birthday. I like hers better anyway. So, maybe it doesn't matter if they bring it back. Not an item exactly. But IMDb discussion boards. Some were toxic and all were difficult to moderate, but, was it excellent for analyzing and discussing films. And getting others' takes and interpretations. Reverse Oreos. Vanilla cookies with chocolate cream. Those were my housemates and I called them crackiaos. The headphone jack on cell phones. Thank you, Apple, for your bravery that slimmed down the phone 0.0 nanometers. Assholes. PB. Crisps. Not an item. But I wanna bring back Toys R Us so much. Vanilla milkshake Pop-Tarts. Those are amazing. Quisp cereal. Tasted like Captain Crunch but way less mouth-tearing. Had a cool alien with a propeller head as a mascot too. Starburst jelly beans. They just disappeared. I think you can still find them on specialty online stores. But it's always a little too expensive to justify a fix. I think it was called the Shack Attack. It was a burger Burger King had about 20 years ago. God damn was it delicious. PB Crisps. Peanut butter filled graham crackers shaped like peanuts. I only ever tried the original ones. But after talking about them and showing my wife the old early 90s commercial, she wishes she could have tried the chocolate ones. Pearl Izumi running shoes. Why did a bike brand make my favorite running shoes? And why did they stop abruptly? I feel like a jilted lover. I wish I'd never known them in the first place. Whisk laundry detergent. No pre-treatment needed. No other pre-soaks needed. Guacamole Doritos. I shed a tear that they haven't been around for a couple of decades. Nestle Toll House bars. They were chocolate-covered brownies and cookie dough sold as candy bars. And they were my favorite as a kid. 3D Doritos. Loved those things. McDonald's French fries. Prior to 1990 they were fried in beef tallow. And were the most amazing and delicious thing in the world. Then McDonald's changed to vegetable oil. And the eventual result was the bland flavorless things they serve today. The sad thing is there's generations now of people who have never tasted a real McDonald's French fry. Lime Skittles. Green apple can suck a. Viennetta. It's not gone in Europe but they stopped selling it in the States and I miss that crunchy chocolate layered ice cream. Those deluxe McDonald's wraps. I've posted about it before but Jesus those things took me by the hand in my hungriest moments. They had actual cucumber slices. Soap shoes. Don't question it, just bring them back. Taco Bell Mexi Nuggets and Burger King's old chicken tenders. I'd be happy with either or actually. Viennetta. I used to see the commercials when I was a kid. But it was something my parents wouldn't have bought. By the time I grew up and was buying my own groceries I kinda forgot about them. Then when I remembered. They had been discontinued here in the US. That fruit gum that came in a Band-Aid tin. It was the absolute best tasting gum on the entire planet. I'm pretty sure that the gum wrappers had Band-Aids printed onto them as well. Szechuan sauce. Just to see what all the hype was about. My mom would bring back Ruby Red Crystal Light. I'd bring back Muffin Top cereal. The blueberry kind you can get in a big bag for a few bucks. Morrison's Nettle and Fennel tea bags. No one does Nettle and Fennel anymore. Rockstar Energy Cola. Loved that stuff. Zantac ranitidine. Nothing else works like it for me. I know the reason for recall is an ingredient linked to cancer. But nonetheless maybe I'd take that chance. Hormel's Spicy Little Sizzlers breakfast sausage. The factory producing it shut down 2 years ago. This is only going to appeal to a small demographic. But drive. Pepper in Australia used to be made by Schweppes. It was a different recipe to Dr. Pepper made anywhere else. And had an amazing taste. Schweppes decided to stop making it to focus on 7-Up, which I see is made by the Dr. Pepper company in the States, so you couldn't buy it here anymore. A few years later people started importing it and that was good. But not the same as our drive. Pepper. My husband had bought in bulk when he heard they were discontinuing it and finished the last bottle for New Year's in 2000. If I could get my hands on real Australian drive Pepper I would be forever grateful. I feel like I stumbled into a Roald Dahl book about a chocolate factory. The Oompa Loompas were making sour Altoids and tangerine Altoids. Butterfingers with cream savers. Laffy Taffy. Polly Pockets. Yogos. Dunkaroos and Tiny Twists. The iPod. The world has moved on and practically everything is available on streaming now, but I like to have my own music collection that was mine. I'm getting used to listening to music with commercials. I don't think it's worth paying extra to get rid of them, but it's still weird. I also don't know how I'm supposed to listen to music when I go camping now. Merlin's Laundry Helper Stain Remover. I always wonder what was in it that made them take it off the market. Barbecue Fritos I could eat an entire bag in one sitting. They quit selling them in the area where I live several years back and they were completely discontinued in 2018. No. I do not like the honey barbecue twist ones. Back in the 80s Jack in the Box made this thing called an apple dumpling. It was a baked apple covered in a pastry crust slathered with a sugary cinnamon drizzle served warm in a plastic clamshell. It was sinfully delicious. Keebler's Pizzeria's chips. Been trying to get them to bring that back for years now. Found other companies making similar chips before. But to my knowledge they've disappeared too. Honestly, I just want Keebler to reclaim them or for them to officially come back in some way.